So, Panama hats. I have a thought.
I did not expect that to be what happens. I was just going to let the silence go until I felt everyone was awkward enough.
Then bring out your silence do-good questions.
What?
The key in silence undetected.
Okay, but silence do-good letters, not the silence do-good questions. Those I'm going to bring out my silence do-good questions.
No, I have a...
What would those even be?
I don't know.
What are the silence do-good questions? You're not me, because I wrote the silence do-good questions. Whose turn even is it? I thought it was yours, because it's on your side.
So, Panama hats have been something that I've looked into because in my new position, I'm finding myself outside often, and I don't like...
You got soggy boots, you're in the water. There's an earth butthole.
And it's
spewing diarrhea. And you're being chased by a caribou. Oh yeah, we can get out of here now.
Cluck, 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 yeah, cluck, 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 yeah.
Ooh, earth anus.
And so I've been working outside, I've realized that
Indiana Jones wore a felt hat and he was in the desert.
That's your argument, and I'm just saying that I work alongside a great many people that have an informed opinion about saying straw hats are better because they give you some.
Well, yeah, they're meant. That's why they're called Panama hats. Is because they were worn in.
Well, but this is my question. It's not Panama is not the only style of straw.
Well, you could just go country bumpkin straw hat if you really didn't care.
Yeah, which is what most of my guys do. Either that or like a sombrero, which I don't want to do.
Well, I mean, if you really rocked it, get a poncho and some cowboy boots.
So what I don't want to do is do the cowboy straw hat, but I also don't want to do...
But in Australia, they use leather. That's even worse than felt, in my opinion.
That's certainly worse. I would never put leather on my head ever.
I think they're called kubras. It's basically a leather fedora. Essentially. But I mean, that's like that's the quintessential Australian outback hat, and like that sounds awful. But is the vibe worth it?
It's not the vibe. It's more...
It's always the vibe.
Oh, you...
See, as much as that's become a kind of internet thing, like, just do it for the vibe, I'm like, I think most people are stupid, so their vibes are stupid. But, I mean, there's an argument to be made. We had the discussion about if you have nothing in... Ooh. I was just distracted by how lime green he is. If you have no greater moral framework, aesthetic is, I mean, the best secular reason to do things.
I agree, but
I mean in a genuine sense of like actual aesthetic beauty, not just like for the vibes. Because again, the people who say that, I mean, it's like that's not what I mean. It's about like, okay, do what you like.
Well, but I'm still a person who believes that form must follow function.
Sure, but I also think we are in an age when a function can have any form almost.
Can it though?
Like a leather hat, because obviously if your concern is just I want to keep my face clear of the sun and not get sunburnt, then a leather hat's going to do that. Now that's going to come with trade-offs.
It's going to be certainly hot.
Yeah, but then again, you think about the fact that leather isn't very absorptive, so it'll get sweaty, but it's not going to like soak in and get gross. At least I don't think. I guess it depends on how they're treated. So, I mean, again, it's going to meet the objective. Whoop, that man cacked that log. He wasn't carrying that. That came out of him. I don't think he's dead because someone you can execute. Oh, your combo, I think, went away.
It's right there, and I keep pushing
No, because I think you have to have you lost your combo when you didn't do it fast enough. Now you can do it. Light them up. Well, or you could do that.
So I'm just curious because there's one called a gambler, which I like.
Yeah, but
it ends up
that's a John Hammond hat. That's like Jurassic Park.
See, that's what Danica said too, and I don't agree. It doesn't have to be that.
Well, no, the gambler, that means it's basically it's the straw hat version of a trilby. Whereas if you went with Panama as the straw hat fedora with a wider brim. You'd have to go at least with that because the real narrow one, it's like, I don't know.
But see, if you go with what I'd like to do is go with one that's a little bit more like the what's that one that I told you was flat that we said was basically kind of like the one that you talked about for a while.
I've never found a consistent name. They all the names I've found for those hats seem to be brand specific.
Anyway, that kind of a hat where it's flatter on the top or whatever. But
I hear them sometimes called desperados. I have no clue if that's universal.
But then the issue with that is when it's straw, it ends up coming off looking a little bit like
it's a little bit of a boater hat.
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
hello,
where's
my baby?
Hey,
hello,
where's your
honey.
quartet? And where's your why isn't your vest on? Where's your brother?
So hard to stay alive. I would just commit to a felt thing. That's what the Cowboys did.
Well, I have a felt thing is the problem, so that
it's too hot for you?
I haven't tried it.
Well, then what's your griping about? Whoop, whoop. Okay, we've summoned
I don't know why I did that.
I don't know either, but
the
game's telling you to. Dominate captains to prepare for the assault. Oh, so this I've heard about this part of this game where you actually will take over. We need more guys. Where we'll actually take over this fort and it'll become ours, and then you can like select orcs to guard it. So the reviews of this that interested me seemed to be suggesting that like in the first game you would have orcs that were part of other people's groups that you would they were like sleeper agents.
I just want to hold your
noggin. Whereas in this, you're actually forming your own army. Like you're going to become a local war chief essentially, and that's an interesting idea. It's a natural progression of the same concept. Where instead of a few interspersed secret agents, it's like nope, we're going to just take the fight to them.
We lead the war to them.
But we gotta have good names. Bad facial hair and phallic names. That's what we're up to.
So he knows both, but he's about to die.
What about bad names and phallic facial hair?
That sounds like the next great punk band. Bad names and phallic facial hair.
That's too much, though. I feel like those would be two separate punk bands. Phallic facial hair and bad names. What are you doing with these people? Reveal intel. You just picking a random guy? Zuka the Deep Delver?
I don't want you delving anywhere, sir.
He looks eager to dive deep. I'll get right in there. I'll get in there and mix it up.
No.
Zuka. No, I don't think
Who ordered the tossed salad?
Oh, no! Oh, that's the worst thing you've ever said ever. Thank you, Bill Cosby.
I didn't sound like Bill Cosby.
I didn't say you sounded like him.
That's
not... there he is. Does it looks like a catcher?
See, I was getting chef.
I'm late for the first match.
Getting chef vibes, which is why I went with the
chef.
I don't know. It just looked a little.
What
bit
chef
like
wears padding and a giant mandible prosthetic?
Mandible props.
He looks like a catcher. He's got the big padded thing and the face mask. I don't know. I would probably stick with just the hat I'd like, which is the hat that doesn't have a name. Basically a flat-topped cowboy hat that doesn't have the little crown. No, it's not just the crown. What's the name of the divot in a hat? Is that the crown? Or doesn't it have a specific name?
I thought it was just the crown.
Maybe it is, but basically it's it's just a flat. So think of, it's actually not too dissimilar from certain Akubras that I've seen, although they sometimes have more fedora-ish, like the brim is slightly curved and stuff like that. I like flat. It's essentially, the only examples I can give are very nerdy, but I'm going to give them anyways. It's like a toned-down version of Alucard's hat from Helsing, because his is enormous and kind of silly.
I've not actually seen that, so I still need to.
Or a similar hat to what Cad Bane wears in Clone Wars. Just flat top, flat brim. I like the simplicity of it. I think it has a good silhouette. I think it would work with the kind of fashion sense I would aspire to. I mean, again, I'd basically be leaning into the kind of bounty hunter cowboy vibe, but I mean, okay. That takes a long time. He's gonna stick it up you. Why is he wearing a loincloth? You have a strange...
Before I shake the man.
Well, his friend shanks you. Like, what do you... You need to be faster about this. You might as well just slit his throat rather than shank him in the kidneys.
There you go. You happy?
Well, no, because you didn't slit his throat. You just sliced him up a bunch. Pretty sure you can grab them and then slit their throat, can't you? Or is it just the shank attack? Oh, no, there is just... Oh, that's all there is? I thought there was a slit throat option. Whoop. Did you give him that mark, or did he have that mark? Oh, well, okay, he's picking a fight.
I'm about to pick a fight, and I'm going to grab you and shank you for a
And
bit.
look at the post.
I like
All that does is...
thing.
This series is just ascending. This game has brought out something wrong. It's goth spider chicks and ghost men and weird forest sprites. I guess maybe the reason where it's not a far stretch between what we saw last time and what like a classical Greek nymph. And there's a reason the nymphs were nymphs. So, okay, you could just attack the base on your own. What kind of meat is this they're carrying?
They just ran. Okay, well,
You're supposed to capture the fortresses using your army, but I suppose if it's possible to go in alone, maybe you don't need an army.
I am an army.
Yeah, but then we don't get any of our funny names and silly facial hair. Whoop. Okay,
You just poked him.
That takes too long. He's just going to kill his friend. Well, he probably doesn't care about his friend. I've never liked him. Wow, they were awfully patient for that. Whoop, he wasn't. I don't know. Are you actually going to act on your thoughts or whoa? Okay, that was something.
I think
you're just pontificating.
No, I think I will eventually get a straw hat.
Oh, you can smack up their shields. I didn't realize that. Just kick him in the pants.
What I realized is that you can hold him and no, okay, never mind.
You're gonna just hold him gently.
Hold on loosely.
Why?
So don't get shanked.
Well, that's good. I suppose that's good advice for two different scenarios. I don't think they coincide much.
Don't drop. Never mind.
Why is this game the worst?
I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it needs to be the worst.
Bad things in me. I don't know.
Is it just because of the goofiness of? Is it? I think we got a foot in the door with the phallic names, and I think it's just gone all downhill from there. We're gonna have our nice, wholesome orc names instead. Names like orcs like Armitage and
the Brave.
Is that a different person?
It's just a different person.
Names like Basil and I don't know.
Catchy names.
I'm trying to think of like quintessential British names. Basil and
Beatrix.
Barnaby. I don't know. This isn't going anywhere. I thought it would come to me if I just committed to it, but it hasn't.
Who's up to bud next?
You're gonna get your face ripped.
Oh, I just did.
Here it comes. Oh, he took your. Oh. Well, he's really going for it. Well, wait, is it actually gonna? Is it gonna promote the Caragor? We're gonna have the Caragor chief.
My computer just gave up.
Did it? I hope it didn't. I don't know why it's making that much noise. I don't know if that's audible, but I don't like it.
Battle reports.
Who's done what? Scat Narook, no, sorry. I don't like none of you. None of you are good names. Now that it's relevant, we can actually start picking folks. I don't care about online vendettas! Who's got intel? I see some intel down there. Are you my intel? Whee! No, too far! Dang it. Oh, no, my intel's over here. I want to know who's got the worst name.
I want to
What's his name? Feces!
I want to know who sells the drugs. That's right.
Asbror, what's with all the huge guys?
Okay,
He's a mongoloid and a half.
We need him.
He goes, I can be fierce, I promise.
It may not be on the battlefield.
I'm a sensitive soul at heart. He reminds me of Paddington Bear.
I can laugh fiercely.
Hey. He looks too much like a mongoloid.
We gotta go with him.
Why? His name's Asbror. That's nothing funny. Oh right, yeah. Now that I can get my intel without killing him. That'll be the best way to stock up my army, is just to get intel and then have some guys on my side. I'm gonna wander around hunting for intel. There was more intel around here, but they've all gone away. No,
So are you planning on getting a hat at all?
Not until it becomes relevant to me.
As far as what,
I
summer or?
don't exactly need one.
Well, sure.
I mean, if you want to get a good one, you need it to be somewhat pricey, or at least quality, which is going to be a certain price.
So you are going to prioritize, obviously, boots first.
Well, I suppose that worked. Astonishingly. I mean, yeah, basically. I mean, even that's not strictly a priority.
What have you found with
Get
quality?
away.
I think we briefly had this discussion off air, but like quality materials for primarily white, like crisp white shirts that actually are for working.
I just prefer natural stuff because it's usually the most breathable.
Yeah, but I mean, what? Just cotton?
Yeah, cotton's pretty reliable. That's what a lot of work shirts used to be made out of. I just need to suck his brain. Just let me suck his brain juice out of his spinal column. It's getting Mortal Kombat up in here. Who's you? Scoth, you look like a Ponce. Why we got all the Ponces?
Scoth is the #1 in the female division.
Wow.
He looked a little...
I'm just going to sneak away from this. You guys don't see me, I promise. I need more intel, guys. I need better names. More phalluses. I think that's the problem, is that we're seeking more phalluses in life, and that's just leading us wrong. I don't know. I mean, it would be a Latin term, so probably. A Wraithal. I know how it works, game. What? Well, you gotta be a jerk. Don't you know the golden rule? Get pimp slapped. Off the cliff, you're not cooperating. Off the cliff. Okay, now that was just Talion being an idiot. Oh no, I beat him to death before he even fell off. Oh wait, there's a shoulder charge attack. That's what I should have done. Like this. Funny. Oh, tackle him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Got a hostage. Whoop, he just poked me in the butt. Don't spear me in the hiney. We're devolving again. We're just into running and gunning. That's not the way we're supposed to do it. It's supposed to be Assassin's Creedy. Whoop.
Anyway, I just thought I'd add
chaps.
that. I know we've talked about hats before, but
Well, until you do something about it, what are we gonna keep saying? Okay, I don't want to fight all of you. I had a question that I was gonna ask, because that's what you do with the question. What are you? Can I free you? Can you be my friends? Oh, I can! Is this a bad idea? I could just cut off your arms, apparently. That's my solution to freeing you. What are these things? Are these trolls or are these other orcs? Are they gonna help me or are they just gonna smash everything? I'm just gonna make mischief and leave. I had a question about, I guess, film again, since we're sort of still on the vein of that. Except I don't remember the exact wording of it because I'm not looking at it. But I had I don't know what prompted it, but is there a sort of a bingo card of like what criteria do you have to fill out before you can truly be considered a film buff? Or is there one? Is there no such thing? Is it just like what you call yourself one and that's it? Because that feels cheap.
No, I think that you have.
But then what would go on it? And I forget.
I feel like having a base knowledge of movies over and across time would be an important one.
Yeah, that's hard to quantify, though.
It is hard. I'm not saying that you can quantify, but I am saying these are some of the.
It's not a bingo
These
card.
are some of the telltale
mimetic.
signs that there's
Whoop.
there's truth or credulity to the actual claim. Because anybody can say they're a film buff, but then they're just like...
I like how I used the hammer right on his butt.
Have you seen... Speaking of that, have you seen... There's this kid that...
Using hammers on butts?
No.
I haven't seen anything about it.
The whole claiming something without actually... And there was this kid that... I can't remember what podcast this was on, but he was basically saying... I like reading books or whatever, and the host or one of the... It was a very, like, Valley Girl kind of host, and she was like, I read books, too, and it's great. And he was like, oh, what books? And she was like, oh, well, I like the... She named not really any books.
Like the Twilight series.
Yeah, it was something like that. And he literally said, those aren't books. Like, they're actually... They're actual names. Well, he's like, what book?
Oh, did she not actually say a book name?
Yeah, so like essentially he was kind of digging at.
Oh, there we go, Gooboo.
You say you like books, but you actually
I like Gooboo.
Have a fish face.
He looks like a gremlin. He looks like if Dobby grew up.
He looks like if orcs had motorcycle gangs.
Gooboo. All right, let's go get Gooboo. Where's he at? Where's my boy? Come on now, where's my boy? Give me my boy. Where's me homie? I don't want you on my screen anymore, pal. I'd like you to go away. Get me my man, Gooboo the Sneak.
Sneak.
I mean, he looks a bit like one. Where's my boy? Here he goes. Oh, he's my... Get off the post, bro. All right.
So,
well, I suppose that's the baseline. Is like you kind of have to have a working knowledge of the canon, as it were, of the thing you claim to be a fan of.
Right. I think that you have to be aware of films that set genres.
Historical significance.
Right. That they literally built genres, that built...
but then again, how do you decide stuff like that? Because that feels... Who gets to dictate what counts? I mean, is it just general consensus? Or?
I feel like that's true of most
Well, I suppose it's similar. You could...
Questions. Sociological
there's
questions
actually
are
a
always
reason
determined by the actual
Well, there's
consensus.
a reason why there is such a thing as the canon of a particular medium, like, and it is somewhat definable. Like, the canon of Western literature isn't just defined by like some people who say these are the books that matter. It's no, sorry, Zazu, I don't like your look. You look like you're trying too hard. It's a matter of. I don't exactly know what the specific metric is, but you can quantify it based on how often a specific work is referenced. Get back here, you! I like how I can dominate him from a distance. That just makes it trivial. You can... I mean, it again... Gund? No. I don't think there's not much room to wiggle there. Gunther, maybe?
There you are, Gunther.
So, obviously, like, if you've read... The old literature often cites, critical works of even older literature. It's like people quote Shakespeare, even in books that are not Shakespeare. It's like it's become such a well-known touchstone of the culture And I mean, it's becoming less that. That's one of the things that's sad. But like the Iliad is considered part of the Western canon because of the fact that so many, like pretty much every Greek play references it to some degree.
Right.
So you have other things that come after it which reference it directly, and then other things reference those things, and so you could basically build up a compendium of like, these are the works that go on to inspire other works, and thus that's what determines the canon. I don't know if there's a specific, like, it has to be referenced this number of times.
Yeah.
That's probably too nitty-gritty. But, so I think that you could make the argument that films which reference other films, or films rather that go on to shape other films,
right,
deserve to be considered part of it. So it's not exactly an arbitrary choice.
But I think the other question would be keeping current. That would be the other thing that's important. Cause
well, this is why I'll throw out some of the ones because I like my bingo card idea because it helps it be mimetic. One of the ones that occurred to me, and I think I'm trying to remember what prompted this, because it was something like, I feel like, oh no, this is what it was. There was a Danish film that I saw recommended recently, starring Mads Mikkelsen, who I like as an actor. But I wasn't aware that it was a Danish film because the title is in English. So I was like, oh, I'll check that out. Booth. No, I mean, I feel like there's jokes that I can't quite grasp with these guys. You think you can come up with something for Booth? Other than John Wilkes? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't know. None of these guys have good names.
Change your name.
Yeah, it's not very good. What was I saying? Something about... Oh, yes, this Danish film. When I found out that it was not in English, I wasn't dissuaded from watching it.
Right.
And I wonder, it's like, does that... I feel like that goes on a bingo card, where it's like the willingness to watch a film in another language, because I feel like the average audience wouldn't do that. Moog. I mean, you big ugly mug, that's about the only joke you can make out of that.
You did that on purpose, you ugly mug, you.
Andrew Ryan doesn't have time for moogs. I don't know. None of you orcs have good, funny names. I'm disappointed in you. Where's more intel? Well, there's a mission over here. What's going on? Oh, here's my Goobu. I guess we'll get Goobu since he's around. No, give me a Goobu. Give him back to me. Has anything come to mind? You freeforming your thinking?
Well, no, I am freeforming in my thinking, but I've already mentioned again that I think the historical. I think that staying current on things is important. I think the other thing is
the other one I thought was if knowing that a film is actually super low budget actually intrigues you more than turns you off. I mean, and I don't just mean in a crappy high school movie kind of sense. I mean like something akin to, similar to like Whiplash or Locke, where it's like a small group of actors, a very small budget. Like that intrigues me more than anything else. Rather than being like, oh, it's because it used to be that big budget action movies. Ronk, don't we already have a Ronk? But our Ronk is in the other area. But our Ronk dances to Girl from Ipanema. This guy just has a dumb helmet. I don't know. I mean, I suppose there might be room enough for two Ronks, but So those are my two cents on the bingo card. Is foreign films and the willingness to watch, or I guess maybe it's just independent films rather than strictly budgetary based.
Yeah, but there are going to be some people that argue that you're not a film buff unless literally anytime somebody's talking about films, you can weigh in and be like, I like that or I didn't like that.
Well, no, because you can't expect someone to know every film just because they say they like them, because there's so many. It's like, that's a bit unreasonable. Where's me boy? How is this a clue? What? Outpost. I thought that's what I was doing. There's more intel. Any other additions? Because what's a bingo card? How many does that need? It's 25 points, isn't it? Minus the free space.
I mean, you can.
I'm not going to come up with that many, certainly, but
No, exactly.
I just wondered because I would previously have never considered myself, and in fact, even fairly recently, I feel like it was. I don't know actually what really sort of inspired all of this. Okay, give me a guy. No, skin.
Scun. No, that's Scun, you idiot.
I guess. I feel like we're going to have to start settling, and that doesn't feel fun. All right, where's our big fella? I want my big lad. Is he in there? It seems like that'd be a perfect place for him to be. Except he's not. Oi, get out of here, you! Was that you, Goobu? No, Goobu's smaller than that. I'm trying to not attract attention. I'm attracting a lot of attention. A lot of attention. I don't want this much. Everybody needs to go away from me. How do I do the ground pound? That wasn't it, but that sort of worked a similar treat. Okay, well, that does it too. Okay, I mean, I guess I could just waltz in and be like, "Where's Goobu?" Okay, how do I unlock Rage of the Gods or whatever it's called? I want my Elven Rage. Elven. There we go. Oh, I forgot. I don't know actually what. I don't know what the buttons I'm supposed to.
Y and B.
Aha, there we go. Woo! Sucks to be you. All right. Oh, that actually was impressive. All right, nobody noticed because there wasn't anyone to notice. There you go. Quick and quiet, no screams. Except a lot of screams and blood. Get out of here! You missed the memo! Why do you look like Jonah Hill? That's not fair. Jonah Hill's lost a lot of weight. Okay, I've just attracted a new gaggle. Get out of here! All right, I'm gonna get more rage. I'm getting me mallet. What was another one? Because I felt like, I don't know. I didn't want to think up too many. This was actually a topic I think I had last week when we weren't able to get together, so I didn't think about it and I didn't write any of them down. So it's your fault that this topic doesn't go anywhere because it's no longer fresh.
Well, yeah.
Thank you for accepting it at least. I don't know. It's just because
I don't think you can. I think when you get into territory of trying to
obviously
to dictate
that's why
any metric of
that's
like
why I
what
feel like the
others-
bingo card concept is admittedly silly because it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's sort of more of a tropey kind of joke than a genuine like these are the things you have to fulfill. Come on. Oh, I'm ruining things. I'm almost got another stiffy.
What?
I'm just blaming this game for inspiring bizarre
Non sequiturs.
moods. It's not that on sequitur. I'm almost raging again. You'll know what I mean by that.
It's almost the morning.
That's not okay. Sure. That's, I suppose, one way you could go with it. Where's me boy? I want Goobu. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There he'll be. Even the way he says it's silly. Alrighty. Well, now I know where he's at. Now he claims to be a sneak, so do I gotta out-sneak him? Oh, there's a thing on the wall. Just another thing on the wall. Cool. Never mind, I totally misrepresented that.
He just corrected you like a child.
There he is. He ain't very sneaky. He's back's facing me. I'm about to wake a Karagor though, and I don't want to do that. It's not what I wanted! Give me your juice! I want your spinal fluid. Oh, I have to beat him up first. Beat him up, beat him up. Give him... Fluent in death. He's edgy. think what's-her-head would like him. Whoa, too much. Bad touch. I don't like this.
You need to take me to dinner first.
Buy me a drink. Come on, man. It's a little aggressive. Okay, well, we're in a bad way with Caragors. Why so many? I don't want to fight all of yous at once. Okay, I don't like you, dumb animals. Okay, you get out of here!
I love how in the meantime, while you're trying to fight the Caragor,
No, I don't want to kill him. I don't think well, actually, I can kill him, but I don't want to.
Use B, it'll help you just punch him rather than...
Well, but I don't think that works.
It does.
I have to counter him is the only thing that worked before.
Well, you can go up and punch him.
Well, but it didn't seem to help because he just does the same thing where he pushes me back. I guess I don't have to kill any of these guys as long as I get him down low enough, but I don't want to accidentally kill him in the fray. No! When was he gonna break? No, he looks broken. Can I have him? That's a creepy way to say that. Have you lost the will to be independent? What? Who did this to me? Why? What is this about? Well, that was weird. It's just like, hey, excuse me, guys, just give me a second. I need a breather. They're awfully sporting orcs, these ones. Okay, he's low on health. I just need to give him a spank. Just, yeah, give me your noodle. There you go. Alrighty. Oh, I can shame him. What? Why do I have to do
His level's
that?
too high. That seems absurd. That's like one of those games that's like, he's too hard for you.
But that doesn't make sense, because surely I want him to be high level. I don't want to... I mean, if he's going to work for me, I want him to be high level. So I got so it's psychological warfare now. I have to gaslight him first. But clearly he's not too high a level, because I just beat him. Like, what's the logic there? Can I just do it again? Okay, so I seriously have to just continue doing this? Wait, why is he over there now? How did he get over there that fast? No, I need to get up the tower. Anyways, it seems you don't have as much...
Well...
You're not a vested interest. Would you call where do you
I don't know that I've ever tried to.
Do you care at all about the distinction and about does it matter to you, or are you like I don't care enough to?
I would say it's the latter.
I didn't used to, and I didn't think I ever would, but I guess it's when you make a purpose to try and explore something, you start to it's part of it becomes a sort of an identity thing. Seems a little bit strong, but
sure,
it makes you wonder how serious do you take it, and what does the seriousness to which you take it matter?
Right.
There's nothing around here. Here we go. Why is everything so far away? Like, if I'm supposed to identify something, I can't. A shadow. Yeah, sure, I could see that from here. Well, let's do some lucky dip. Just pick one off the list and we'll see if we can make something up about it. Why am I still doing Shelob memories all the way out here?
Curious what you were attempting with
does Shelob still care for me?
With the
cry for me.
Dead horse.
Oh, that's recent news and it's very annoying.
What's going on?
So, Cobra Kai, which we thought ended poorly,
Cobra Cack,
isn't over.
Oh, I knew this.
Well, no, where are they gonna go? They defeated the one guy. It's like
they're gonna put Johnny's head in his own underwear
up
while
his butt.
while they're on.
Johnny's head's going up Danny's butt, and Danny's head's going up. What's his own butt?
And then
he draws the short. You drew the short straw because your head's going up my butt.
Have you seen that?
No, you showed me that clip though.
Said,
but it's like there's nowhere to go.
Up his own nose.
Okay. Well, now I know what kind of thing it's going to be. Because I thought, as much as I was like, okay, it ended poorly, at least it ended. But apparently that's not even it. It's like, what's there to do?
Nothing.
They won the competition. They beat the guy. I don't get what's left.
They beat the guy.
It doesn't make sense. But the other part of that, which I was rather proud of my wordplay. Technically, I have to admit that someone. Oh, okay, I almost jumped off a cliff. I improved upon someone else's joke, so it wasn't all my idea. But there's news about the Witcher stuff still, obviously going downhill, of course. Because apparently, like the new trailer for the third season came out, and everyone's basically crapping all over it. Which, I mean, it seems just a touch unfair, given that the reason people are crapping all over it is because everyone knows that Henry Cavill's not going to be in that this is Henry Cavill's last season.
Right.
And so people are more just mad in general than necessarily it's like that the trailer sucked. I didn't actually bother to watch it, so I can't comment really. But there were some people commenting on it and talking about basically if they continue the series, it will basically just reveal that they have nothing but open contempt for the audience.
Well, that's true of many companies right now, though.
Yeah, but so someone made the comment that if they actually try, because there was the news release that they were going to go with the discount Hemsworth brother. I forget his name, but the one that's not famous, Kuga Chaka. That's about it. I don't know.
Looks a little Punisher-y.
Yeah, he could be a maybe. It's like if they actually go ahead and do that, someone made the comment like then it should be required to be called the Switcher. And I thought it's better if you call it the way I wrote it on the topic. I said call it the bait and switcher, because that's essentially what it'll end up being. Because it's like, yeah, we got this guy who was really passionate about it and was the only person who actually cared about the source material. I'm fascinated by you.
We've got an Arab that...
An Arab?
Never mind.
I was okay. Bye, everyone. We're out again.
No, it looked a little turbany. I'm sorry. I saw that it was a hat afterward, but...
Well, I don't think we're going to recover from that. Well, you can't just go calling... Now we're going to have to insult every other race to keep it fair.
Wow.
No, more intel.
White people.
More intel for me. Well, there's a bunch of these white orcs, and they're ugly. Come back here. Oh, I can sprint. Oh, I forgot I can do that. Nope, stop. I don't want to crawl through the bushes. Run. How do I speed of sound him? I forgot the button. I always do. There you go. Come to me. Come to me. Whoop. All right. We're getting close. We're filling up on all the names, but none of them are good. Oh, okay, the fact that it's called the Snowflake is funny. Og is potential enough. And then the Snowflake, I'm at least curious to interact with him and see why that he's called that. I'm supposed to be hunting down the other guy, though. I'm being distracted. It's dumb news because it's the same thing as always. Things don't care. Well, I suppose with Cobra Kai, you might argue that they cared a little too much about the source material. Who are you?
Maybe.
Necra? I don't know you. Get out of here, Necrophile. I don't want you. Because it seems like they tried to take the more kind of nuanced, gray area of the first few seasons, and then they basically boiled it down to, now we're just going to make it campy and silly like the movies were. Which I guess some fans might have been wanting. But speaking as someone who didn't really have much experience with the movies, I actually thought, other than the basic plot structure, I actually thought that the first few seasons did an interesting job of making it more nuanced.
Right.
And I guess we can't live in that world. There's no nuance anymore, and we can't have it.
Right now.
So the fact that they were just like, fine, we'll dumb it down to be silly like the movies, it's just like, okay. And then, of course, on the opposite of the spectrum, we got The Witcher that doesn't give one rat's severed bollock about the source material. And they kicked off the only guy who cared in the slightest. So it's like, well, I mean, they didn't kick him off. He left because he was aggrieved, which is reasonable. I'm not even a fan of Warhammer, but the fact that he's making a Warhammer thing because again, that's another thing he's deeply passionate about. I'm like, I'll watch it, if only because I like things made by people with passion.
Well, there you go.
I don't even care about Warhammer, but if he actually likes it enough to make a thing that he is insisting is good, then I'll give it a try. So, it's just, I don't get why nothing can be good anymore. This doesn't seem like the thing I'm looking for. Tozoshi? Oh, that's the name of this place. I thought that was the name of the guy, and I was like, okay.
Everything is fine. Nothing is ruined.
Oh, there you are. Well, how about that? How did he get all the way across the map in such a short time? That's the real question. What is he doing to that beast?
That's another real question.
No, not you. I want you. It's dumb that they're telling me he's too high level when I will very obviously capable of beating him. If they don't want me to be able to beat him, they should make him harder to beat.
Okay. I've never thought that it's okay to nullify when you overextend yourself. I think if anything, if you overextend yourself and succeed, it should be praised.
Okay, what are you talking about?
Within a game context.
Well, exactly. It's like, if I'm capable of defeating him and having him, then I deserve to have him on my team. Now, they might say, well, you're too low level and having such a high level guy would be, unfair. Because, at this stage of the game, having that strong a follower would...
But that's
it's like, then you should have mixed it better so that I wasn't capable of beating him.
Right.
Like... If you don't want me to have him, make him harder to have. I don't like these giant hordes. I just want to screw with this guy's brain. Can I have him this time? Am I going to have to mutilate his frontal lobe again? Am I going to have to tell him nobody loves him? Your mother didn't love you. Can I have him this time? Okay, I can. Hey, kill your friends at the Circus of Value. I can shun him now that I have him. No, I'm just going to get out of here, so you and I might as well book it. I'm not here to start fights, I'm just here to gather people. There's also a tower for me to climb. So yeah, that wasn't much of a long-form discussion. It was just news that bothered me, because news always bothers me these days. I was proud of my...
I actually don't watch the news anymore for that very reason.
Well, the actual news, of course not, but I mean pop cultural news. I mostly get it from YouTube, and I don't even... It's not even that I watch it. That's what's funny about it. Most of my YouTube, pop culture news just comes from thumbnails, and I'm like, oh, is that what's going on now? Okay. I don't actually bother to watch it, because most of them are clickbait, and I make a point of not giving clickbait the time of day. Like, if it's deliberately clickbait, even if I'm slightly curious, I'm like, no, just to spite you, I'm not going to watch it now.
Oh, speaking of spite, I thought we might bring up the whole... I've been following...
Salty again.
Following the whole Bud Light wokeism failure that was... the defecation that they created.
Defecation, no sales.
No selling. Company's about to go under because...
Well, I doubt that's going to happen.
Oh.
They're not...
Oh.
No, I've seen the figures. They're not that far down.
No, I'm in full agreement with Matt Walsh, who basically says what they've done is not just created a boycott for
well,
extremists.
It's rather comical how poorly they continue to handle it.
Well, but I go, the brand has literally now changed perception in the general populace's mind, where it's like even people that maybe would have not really given it much thought as far as, actually boycotting things like that, are now going, well, I don't want to drink that because everybody's making fun of people who drink that, so no. And it's like, now it's become the stigmatized, like, wow, you're drinking a Bud Light, are you? And I think that's hilarious. Because it was already a crap beer anyway.
Well, yeah. I don't know that there are... I don't care much at all. I mean, I think it's more of a... It's a bit of the John... I feel like John Mulaney was just, this might as well happen.
Go ahead, stick it in.
Don't go wherever you're going.
It's John Mulaney.
I know that, but it's not relevant unless it's terrible. Oh, there's a monument for me to whittle on. Well, that guy was way easy to kill. What is this even a monument of? Bones, it seems. This is our bone monument. No, get me off the bone. Oh, who is you? Oh, hey, it's you!
I am a Mulvaney.
That doesn't... I don't know where you get these bizarre stretched references, but you gotta relax them a little bit. They're a little... You're putting them through the taffy puller.
Wow.
Okay, bye. I didn't hear anything you just said to me, but...
Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
I don't need... Do I need a follower? I don't feel like I need followers.
It's less that I'm actually thinking it's such a significant political thing as much as it is I find the whole campaign against them to be hilarious.
I don't...
there's people that get on there and now they're making...
make him my bodyguard.
They're making
Well, it's a textbook in how not to respond to a PR crisis.
Agreed, but
because it is funny. They're just wow, they just are flailing about it.
Yeah, they're flailing, but then people are responding with hilarity as far as their client base. There's I don't know what everybody's freaking out about. I drink Bud Light all the time, and there's this one guy that literally goes, and I think it's fine, and he takes a sip, and then all of a sudden his face changes slightly to be a little bit. It's like the whole clown meme, except it was in video. And he goes, "What the?" And then he just drinks again, and it's a little bit more. And he's like, "What the?" And he drinks again, and it's full on just.
I can now summon a bodyguard, apparently.
Yeah.
But I want to climb the bone tower and do something untoward to it.
Wow.
I want to defecate on it.
Thought we were moving away from.
Untoward is not inherently... It just means... I actually don't know entirely. I feel like I've only heard it in context. I've never seen it in the dictionary. I feel like if you took a dump on a statue in public, some people would call that untoward.
Sure.
I appreciate your optimism. Well, maybe I'm not talking about the other things. Maybe it's your fault for thinking of them. All right, I'm bailing. Bye, guys.
Statues, thinking of things.
Oh, wait, no, hang on. I'm not bailing. I got a thing up here I need. Where's me graffiti? There he is. Oh, you can't climb that rack of spears. Confound you, wooden spear rack. Come on now. Stop with the... Okay, he's been taking too many lessons from Ezio. I just want the graffiti. Thank you. Okay, dude.
That was full on Ezio.
That was not a necessary thing. Give me my remembrance.
A necessary.
What does that say? Aubrey? Uberry?
Aubrey, Uberry.
You bury me. Why is this thing still a red area? Oh, it's a fortress. I thought that meant I thought when I unlocked a thing it would go away. I don't want Nazu or any of these people. What does this do? That's locked. Okay, lost artifacts.
Anywho.
Yeah, it's all...
a bit of a pop culture corner.
Is it pop culture? What determines pop culture? What,
I don't know that I've ever concerned myself with pop culture enough to...
Because I can't tell if that's pop culture, because everyone's talking about it, but is that all that's necessary for pop culture?
Yes, because news is actually legitimate.
No, it
culture is more like...
Well, I mean, not anymore, it's not.
No, that's certainly true.
Most
news now is just pop culture dressed up.
Is news exclusively political, I guess? Or can news
I don't think... No, because there's also,
scientific
news.
There's
that big wreck on 85.
I guess, but there's that...
What?
I mean, that doesn't feel like news.
It is.
It's on a news channel, but again, that's what I mean when I'm not sure that... When you say, oh, there's news, I have news, people aren't going to think you're talking about traffic. They're going to think something's
I'm not talking about traffic. I'm saying when a guy gets swept under a bridge and dies because of a flood, that's news.
What did that have? Okay, but that was not the example you gave a minute ago.
I'm saying, I said, there was that big wreck on 54.
Well, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was like, I don't know that traffic counts as news.
People die in those types of scenarios. I was just saying, if there's some sort of
getting swept under the bridge?
That wasn't just a made-up example. That happened recently.
If there's an accident, And then he got swept under the bridge?
No, there was a flooding spot in Texas, and this guy literally, his car got swept underneath the bridge.
That's not an accident then. I mean, it's an accident in a sense, but not like a traffic jam accident.
No, but it still was.
Who's you? Oh, it's you. Oh, he's actually he's been stalking me.
I like him.
Aha, I can
got
summon my
charisma.
bodyguard. Well, too bad. He's violated my personal space. I like the other Ronk better. Whoa, he's got flash powders or something. Oh, and he hurts me a lot. Nope, nope, nope. Ouch. Bodyguard, save me. Oh, he can. Oh, they can humiliate me. But I'm not even dead. Get back here. This is stupid. I'm just going to let him leave? No. Where are you? Where are you at, punk? That seems rather unfair. I should at least be able to hunt him down and be like, you know, take that back. Okay, can I get you to go away now? I kind of don't need you out here.
I think it's up.
This is to unlock my skill points. We don't do this nearly enough. I'm not paying any attention to these upgrades. Oh, there you go. Sure, that's fine by me. It won't let me have it. I'm gonna kill him. I don't like that he just gets to taunt me and then disappear. Okay, how do I get me upgrades? Well, maybe I did do it. Anyways, yeah. We have a non-news topic because, like I said, news is just sad all the time.
Yes, it is.
Unless there's good news. Have I written anything good news? I doubt I have.
What's with the YouTube music review?
That's not exactly news.
Oh, are you
It's
talking about
like-
the weird like music?
YouTube has a music
version
app
now that they're
It's
saying?
basically, yeah, it's essentially it's because YouTube already has music, so they basically made. It's a sort of Spotify competitor, but I
Yeah,
actually
but
prefer it
it's not.
because it uses your established YouTube history. So it's like if you already are listening to music on YouTube, which a lot of people do, at least I think I
Well,
do
arguably
mostly.
that's what the aim is for people.
It'll use that as your algorithm, and I'm like, I've always found the YouTube algorithm to be fairly reliable in its recommendations.
Huh.
So I was just curious about it because I tried it out, and I'm not exactly like wowed by it, but it's useful.
The one thing I think it has going for it is that there are songs that I've only been able to find on
Because
YouTube.
some
at
are
times.
like by independent people who
Right.
don't have any other. It's just like
Especially if you're
it'll either
into
be
that.
someone's cover of a song or someone's own original song.
Right.
It's like that's one of the things YouTube is good for. Hello, goodbye. That was faster than I thought. I don't know what I'm doing here. Do I have enough people to attack this base yet? I probably. Oh, whoa. We got stick drifty. I'm not doing that. The controller's got a mind of its own. Okay. Whoop. Now that doesn't make a lick of sense. Well, okay. As long as it's not continuing to do it. I feel like I got a lot of people. Can I take this place now? Or do I need more captains? I've got a lot of low-level guys. Yep, more followers. Alright. I kind of don't want you following me around all the time, dude, because you're going to attract attention.
So send them loose.
I don't know how. It doesn't tell me.
Push one of the D-pad buttons.
Well, none
it's
of them
not
do
to the
anything.
right because it'll kill him.
I have no clue what that did. I did something. Whoop. I don't know what that does. It doesn't seem to do anything. Whoop. Whoa! Okay, he's got a powerful bow arm. Well, the question is, will he crouch? Like, no, he won't. Now he's picked a fight and he won't sneak with me. And I need that because I'm trying to be... Well, okay, apparently I can just let him loose. This guy's got all the moves. Okay, maybe I'll just watch. Maybe I'll send you in the stronghold alone. I'm officially supporting you. Whoa, holy crap. This guy's great. I chose the right tank. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. The nice thing about mind control is he can't be offended. He won't matter. He won't mind if I abuse him. All right. Well,
I
else is on the
tried
topic list? You're the one who's got it.
for a bit as far as the YouTube music thing. I do think it's useful for, again, especially if you're somebody who listens to indie music a lot or
which I've been
stuff,
getting into.
I think it's helpful because there's
Nobody sees
far
me.
more people that do YouTube with that kind of thing than
Okay. Oh, the intel's up here. You defeat
bits.
them while I get up here.
Like you have what's the one that you can produce music yourself? I can't remember what that service is called. It's
Well, technically, you can do that on any
you could, but
platform.
there's a particular platform that's fairly popular for that.
SoundCloud?
No,
Whoa!
it's escaping.
Ooga Kooga! He's alright. Ooga Kooga who watches?
Ooga Kooga, he's all right. If he can't do it, he's.
But I feel like Ooga Kooga who
Gonna
watches, that almost could just be one word.
Look into his eyes.
Ooga Kooga who watches.
Look at his eyes.
I don't want to.
That's why they say who watches.
But why?
Go back to his eyes.
Why? That's such a weird description. And because it's not like I don't know. I mean, I like his name. I'll stick with him for that. But well, hi, fight him. Get him. Oh, that's how I do stuff to my mind control friends. Okay, that wasn't made clear. You don't deserve to live. Here you go. Alrighty. Well,
Anyway.
we just gonna peter out. We got nothing to end on.
I mean, it's not going to take much longer than we have.
Well, I don't know. You got any closing
Pontifications.
remarks? Is this some kind of a what's going on here? Is this a show? Are they putting on a play?
Not particularly as far as anything that I want to close out with. I mean, I'm curious with the whole.
So I guess we'll just end there.
No, I mean, I'm curious with the whole news comment that you made. That like for instance, I'm planning on soon getting a subscription potentially to the Daily Wire solely because not because of the news as much, but because of the stuff that Jordan Peterson is putting out as far as content.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I would give much.
But I am obviously, once I get it, I might as well utilize some of the news aspects as well. But I was curious what your
I can't believe that's never occurred
take
before.
on those types of things are, because obviously a streaming service
back
has already been.
I'm starting to be opposed to them in general, to be honest. Okay, get back here, you coward! This is an interesting dynamic that it's just realized. I have sorry, getting to momentary comment on the game. It's been in the past necessary to know the weaknesses of an enemy so that you can defeat them, but now those weaknesses still carry over when they're on your side, so that means that that's a liability. Like my bodyguard just ran off because he's apparently afraid of corridors.
Oh, gotcha.
So it hadn't occurred to me that that's going to be an element to keep track of, so that'll be interesting. Anyways, what were you saying?
I'm just curious, so to me, obviously, I'm planning on utilizing that service once I have it, even if it is solely for the purpose of watching some of the Jordan Peterson originals. But at the same time, I'm curious because again, the whole idea of streaming is very normal right now. And
Yeah, but I think it's gonna go. I think people are getting tired of it.
I agree. I actually just had a conversation recently with
keep your kids off of me.
With a guy in an auction room.
With a big knife.
No, I was quoting from Sherlock. I was joking.
You want to get over here with the mic. I'm going to probably have to boost all of that. I didn't realize you were over there.
I was I forgot where I was going.
Working
with
in the
that, 'cause
lab?
no,
one night?
No, I was talking about the whole news
streaming
concept.
and Jordan Peterson. I don't want to kill my crush's kids.
No, we were. So I was. I was talking to a gentleman about the fact that old school newspapers actually were beneficial because there was a degree of understanding of its solidity, its solidification.
I think that is a...
It's more of a culture, probably.
I think that's
more
an anachronism, sort of, because I think all news media has had bias.
Oh, I'm not suggesting it didn't have bias. What I'm saying is I feel like, was a bit more necessity to not perjure yourself, I suppose, because of the fact that there was evidence, and now, yes, sure,
well, if anything, that's worse because there's far more documentation these days.
Is there though? Because I feel like
because everything's on the internet.
Yes,
okay, I don't know why I can't just face the guy. Good grief! I kept coming out of the bush, and now he sees me. You've ruined me, cover. And I'm gonna ruin your day. Don't be throwing spears at me. I've got much tinier spears to throw at you at higher velocities. I don't
know. I find that for me, my preference and what I enjoy is a bit of the return to vintage and
okay, well,
kind of
just got to commit to this, I guess.
I mean, in the same manner that you were talking about, like just streaming being over the top.
Kind of expensive, though.
Oh, they're for sure expensive. In fact, one of the things he said is they've gotten thinner and more expensive.
Well, because fewer people, yeah,
exactly. Fewer people read them. There's not less local news is put inside them because people are not really using them as an actual means of media.
No.
But my point I'm getting at that is with you talking about streaming and the fact that you don't like it altogether. Eventually, there will come a point that the technology decides which way it will go, and if you decide, well, I'm only going to get the news from a
technology decides nothing.
No, what I'm saying is,
I decide.
If sure, you can decide for yourself, but if the cultural zeitgeist of news is saying, hey, this is how we're going to get our news, eventually you will actually be basically just choosing to be out of touch by not having as particular streaming
actually
service.
Be better off.
Totally agree. 100% agree. But it's just something you have to make your mind up about, is all I'm saying. In the same way
newspapers still get made. I mean, there are people who still cling to that.
Yes, they are, but they are not as well... They're not as full of the same information because of the fact that less people advertise in them, less people
they're full of
use... Well, you know what I mean?
Maybe not highly specific stuff, but if all you're interested in is the broad strokes, then you'll probably still get that. That's probably all
for sure. For sure. But there will come a time, I think, that in the same way that like coax towers would need to move to fiber, that's the only example that's coming to mind right now. But
it's a bit of an odd one.
Why?
Well, it's highly specific. I think you're going to lose the average listener with that. My
point is, it's something that is older because it was the way that we used to do things. Returning to it is fine, or saying, well, I'm not really going to participate in the new is fine, as long as you're okay with the trade-off that you're not then moving ahead with the culture. I think that's been true.
A trade-off. I think that's kind of the point.
I agree. It is the point, in the same way that, like, with smartphones and not moving to smartphones or moving away from smartphones, in fact, has been a choice, not just on a deliberate denial of future progress, which I think is what most people mistakenly think, that those that want to reject a particular idea is solely because it's different and it's new. It's like, no, there are times that I'm actually evaluating it for what it is, which is just a crappier way of doing it, and I don't like it. So that has to be a margin for room. But with that being said, you have to then be okay with the responsibility of saying, I am choosing to be less maybe savvy than most people in this particular field.
I don't think most people are very savvy, so...
I'm saying
think
in
they're
that
missing much.
in that particular context or manner, like if you choose not to go with news streaming, and 90% of, or even 95% of
See, my point
populace
is,
move
I think
that
that's
direction.
actually changing. I think that will go down.
You think so, huh?
I think there is a growing dissatisfaction.
Is there statistical evidence for
I
that?
guess I can't say statistically, like there's records of it, but I do think that there's grumblings in culture.
I certainly agree with you there, because I've seen that within the university context.
Get back here.
I just hope that it's not wishful thinking. You know what I mean?
Maybe it is, but I mean, I don't want to deal with you and your nonsense. I don't want to have to kill you right now. I'm trying to get to the other guy. I don't. Why you gotta deal with me like this? Get out of my life. I feel. Whoa. Okay. I don't like whatever you're doing. That was weird. I think people are getting annoyed with the monopolization of it, because it basically means a streaming service is something that you basically, I mean, you're giving them all of the control over the stuff. It's like you pay them, and all you can have is them, and you're forced to. You don't get any kind of. I mean, part of it for me is the lack of. I thought I pressed that. Part of it for me is the lack of the ownership of the thing. That you can pay for a thing and, under pretty normal circumstances, can lose access to it simply by. If you are paying to stream something and your internet goes down, or you lose power for something for a day or something, it's like that. Yes, technically you still have it, but you can't access it, which then sort of makes it useless. Whereas, in my opinion, if you own a thing and you have it, then it can't be taken away from you like that.
Sure, that's true.
And I think people are starting to get a little more. People are kind of wanting that back, that degree of ownership again.
Sure. But is it solely an ownership of stuff, or is it actually more?
It doesn't have to be physical stuff, but
I would argue
even the
that it's
digital
more
purchase
of
thing makes sense.
Ownership of people are wanting to reclaim some degree of control over their own lives.
Well, of course. I mean, this is all what this is.
Right, but I mean that hasn't always historically been the case. Well, I
think it has. I think people thought that this was convenience, and it's turned out it's convenience at the cost of control. When you owned a thing, it was a little bit inconvenient to own it physically, but you had the most control over it that way. Whereas you sacrifice the control for the convenience when it's a streamable thing, because you just pay one person and they give you all the stuff, and theoretically you have access to all of it, and it's more convenient, but you don't have control over it. And I think people are starting to get annoyed with that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the circles that obviously it could be a echo chamber type thing that I feel like it's growing because the people that I interact with are similar mind.
Sure, but yeah.
So who knows how much of an actual percentage that's going to be, but
I'm not saying that it's not a worthwhile thing to look at. I'm just shaking you to death, sir. Sorry. I don't think you're wrong in saying even if there isn't any statistical evidence. I have certainly seen that within culture that more and more people are becoming interested in the idea of unplugging from the regime that is modern, pop culture and news and all this kind of stuff. It's a bit of a machine that is starting to run people.
It has always been that. That's one of the reasons why.
Yes, but not so
less overt.
Inherently,
certainly.
yeah.
Well, it's become far more obvious because it is becoming a literal machine, or more. I mean, I suppose more accurately, the algorithm, as it were, because it's all digital. But
yeah,
it's becoming far more apparent. Well, that was a downer way to end.
Sorry.
Supposed to beat us up. You want to do that?
Oh, I think I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one.
Good idea.